I'd like to be alone right now. Want some space? I'm sorry for intruding on knock time. Well, I'll head back then. Night.
The Game Developers Conference was good. My fellow peasants, how you all doing? So Final Fantasy XV at the weekend, some of you might be excited to know it had a tech event, and there were tech videos that were made in partnership with Nvidia's GameWorks group using the Luminous Studio Pro. So we know that they've been using the Luminous engine and FF15 as a graphics test environment, and this is all quite exciting stuff, especially if you are a person who is waiting for this to come to PC. Now, while Tabitha was asked to comment, no, you've been doing these videos with Nvidia, does this mean it's coming to PC? All Tabitha said was, no comment, tech tests. But supposedly he said it with a sly hint about him, so I think PC is really happening, guys, and they're really working through it. But and one of the great things about this was the Nvidia turf effect. Supposedly one of the mind-blowing details was the tech demo showed in the turf effects 100 million blades of grass, individual blades dancing in the wind and with movement. That's incredible. But I am excited for something completely different, and that's why I'm doing it here in the middle of Theory Week, because remember, I did my Regis video. I did my time loop of a father's love and really showed the places where time has been getting manipulated, and I hope you've seen that video, otherwise this won't make sense. I'll leave a link, or you can click on the screen now to quickly go watch it. But long story short, what did I say in this video? What was my message? My message was that King Regis learned about creating a time stitch in the Omen trailer, and then the game restarted at the end, and Gladiolus referenced the Omen trailer, and all the other stuff that connected into that, but the fact that he mentioned the Omen trailer said that this could be another failed eventuality, and more or less what I was saying, guys, was that the Omen trailer wasn't just some sort of false or fake premonition, or something fabricated by the gods, or fabricated by the crystal. I was saying this was a real previous cycle, essentially an alternate reality. I was saying that was real. And I also then went on to say that because that is an alternate reality, so could the Luna and Noctis wedding scene. I said this is just possible, it could be real, it could just be an alternate reality, another stitch in time. And there was Regis who gifted. You saw the video, guys. Essentially, what it all comes down to is I'm calling them alternate realities. And the clue's in the name, realities, real. They're alternate, but they are real. And then at this game developer conference, this released, guys. Oh my goodness. So this is really hard to break down, and it took me a while, but this is actually released by Square Enix. This is just come out. This is an official timeline of FF15, and look, so they have broken down everything in the FF15 universe: Platinum Demo, Brotherhood, Kingslave, mobile titles. You see it all there. And then it falls into one of three categories, depending on what time it happened, 30 years prior to departure. So departure is the start of the game, but it falls into one of three categories: storyline, flashback, or alternate reality. And they do, guys, they specify Omen trailer as an alternate reality. Nothing like a dream, nothing like a premonition, and that's why I was really curious. Why didn't they have dream there? They call it flashback or alternate reality, so it implies it was real. It was just alternate. And not just that, when we go to the Final Fantasy XV timeline, look at the post-departure and 10 years later section. Notice how the storyline bar, and then it's the only one that also has a second bar above it. And that's alternate reality. What I think that means, guys, is that the 10 years later part, where Noctis is 10 years older, is split into real storyline. I believe that is when Noctis comes back from the world of ruin and he is older. But also the wedding scene. They must be talking about the wedding scene at that part, and they must be calling the wedding scene an alternate reality. And it isn't a dream. And this is the weird thing about it. I would also think that they would place the Platinum Demo as an alternate reality. Surely that is an alternate reality. Carbuncle even said, this isn't a dream, this is real. But they've actually specified that as just a flashback. So what I'm saying is, guys, there is a clear distinction that what happened in the Platinum Demo was supposed to be a dream of Noctis's, yet the Omen trailer, which we also saw in the game, Noctis started dreaming it. It came from Regis, but Noctis started dreaming it as well. And this is the thing, guys, so this is more than just Noctis's dream. This actually confirms that the Omen trailer isn't the same as the Platinum Demo. And we know that Regis saw the Omen trailer, and Noctis is beginning to see it. and they're now calling an alternate reality. I'm telling you guys, the devil is in the detail, and while it's possible that they're just flippantly using the word alternate reality, and they're maybe just using it for something that is actually a premonition or should be called a dream, the fact that the wording of alternate reality is there, and they define the Omen trailer and the lunar scene, which is essentially what I was discussing in my time loop theory video. The whole idea that 15 is far more F&C, or has kept those base concepts, it's really starting to shape up. And this extends beyond just one theory or my theory. This extends to so much that other people have started suspecting. So many other people have come forward and started to know, is this alternate realities? Does it have alternate realities? YouTubers started doing videos. Will FF15 be having alternate endings? And will the DLC fork off into these other areas? And will one of those be world of verses? And will there be a break in between the Leviathan section, Altisha, and the speech scene? So Lunar and Noxus Graph, I'm telling you guys, I'm really hoping that alternate realities are something that is in this game, and honestly it would not surprise me. I can well imagine that Tabata would use the DLCs to do something like this, to go pretty crazy and out there with the plot, and maybe flip it up and even introduce this really huge plot device that takes it off into alternate realities. And just again guys, the fact that we do know that the huge unannounced DLC, which is supposedly going to be the meatiest one, that was a knee-jerk DLC. So what I mean by that is they hadn't had it planned in the works, but Tabata said he has seen what the fans want, and therefore they've decided they're going to do this DLC, this mystery one that they haven't told us about. Come on guys, they're making a DLC in response to what fans want. That really does limit it down to either World of Versus, Noctis and Lunar shipping times. And again, based on how the game went, that would have to be done outside of the current timeline. Outside of a time stitch would have to be used, an alternate reality. The ones that perhaps don't have to use alternate realities that fans want. I definitely think people want perhaps an Ardyn or Summon's backstory. But I highly think that's probably unlikely, the most unlikely. Or the fourth and final one as to what fans want that is connected to the timeline would be a Dark World DLC with Demon Slayer Iris, 10-year-older Demon Slayer Iris, and 10-year-old Cindy, and Dark World Leslam. Supposedly things that they had all started working on, and they were actually base models, so the rumour goes. But as far as what the unannounced DLC, everything I've heard, and again I can't verify the legitimacy of these, all of them are implying alternate realities and time flips and stuff that courses the story off down a different vein through some pretty crazy out there plot device. And just to see it there at the Game Developer Conference, a blaring declaration that alternate realities are implemented into 15. I think it's pretty exciting. I think it's what the game needs. I think it's what the fans want. The DLCs definitely have to deliver. They have to be the thing that bumps it up to that whole extra level. And at the same time, rounding this video out at this Game Developer Conference, Tabata, although he didn't say FF16 was happening, he said that because projections for 15 were only ever at 6 million for its first year sales, and that if that had been the case, it would have been the end of Final Fantasy, because it's simply not sustainable to sell that much while running games at that kind of quality in today's gaming climate. And Sakaguchi kind of said the same thing: treat every FF like it's your last FF, it's your last installment in the title. Well, Tabata came out and said, well, you know what, we smashed 6 million in a month, so guess what guys, it's a green light for the franchise to endure. Take that, Final Fantasy haters, you big bitches. Until the next video. Kupo!